We're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts, plus also as well Inside Sports Fans, Fantasy Football, Game Source, of course, the great guys at LakersBall.com. Go ahead and check out Joe Soro and what they're talking about with the exhibition season going on right now. Who's looking good? Who's not looking so good, and whatever's going on with the exhibition season. You can check out their comments today at LakersBall.com. Plus, he owns an awesome company, and if you're in the Southern California area, you should use it if you want your lawn transformed into something much more magical than it is today. Just go ahead and check it out today. That is Sinblades. Sinblades with a Y.com. Also, our good friends, Laker Tom, who is probably infatuated already and already trying to go ahead and put Colin Castleton in the Hall of Fame. You can go ahead and check out his great articles today as the #1 Lakers blogger that's out there at Lakerholics.com. Plus our good friends Yami Sweet, aka Jamie Sweet. He's not doing dishes all the time, but you can go ahead and check out what he's writing on 5 things right there for you at Lakerholics.com as well. Stone Hansen, who I hope to see face-to-face for the first time this weekend. I don't know. Laker Tom even said he might be there soon. I don't know. He said this week or next week, and I said stop by this weekend. But we'll see what happens, Laker Tom. But I know Stone Hansen will be here this weekend in Las Vegas for Summer League. You can check out all the great work he's done today at Upside Swings NBA Draft Podcast. Plus also our playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. He was there. The MagicMan, Sean Grice, was there as well. But you got to go ahead and check out what Joe was arguing about and why he was getting mad today at playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. And he was mad. So there you go, indeed. But it is the Lakers Fast Break. We truly appreciate everyone out there. Hope you had a happy and safe 4th of July. I put on there for just reference purposes what I did last night, and which was the grand opening of the Sphere in Las Vegas. And to answer everyone else's question, yes, the thing now is on 24/7. It does all these different designs and things. So if you do come into Las Vegas, yes, I believe it is going to be on for you when you get here. But just a whole bunch of people already watching it, over 1,100 views. I truly appreciate it. It gives you a better idea of what it's like. I know you two will actually open up for the actual inside of the arena. And yes, the Sphere on the inside is supposed to be having digital displays and such during the concert itself. So looking forward to seeing how that is as a venue coming up later this year, plus Formula One and all that. Vegas is hopping, but it'll be hopping even more this weekend. Friday night for Summer League is already sold out. Victor Wembanyama has sold out the Thomas & Mack and Cox Pavilion. So Las Vegas is really ready to roll with some basketball this weekend. The Lakers will be here this weekend, but they're coming off of 2 straight losses in the California Classic, with today being their latest loss, losing 109-99. But there was signs of improvement. Max Christie, defensively on the perimeter, did not still look like he was engaged, but on the offensive end, looked really smooth, getting the Lakers a good shot of adrenaline there. 25 points, 4 of 5 from 3, 7 of 13 overall, looked really smooth. Cole Swider, who is still probably somewhere on the uneasy cut line, whether or not he will stay as a two-way player. 6 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from behind the arc, 18 points for him. Colin Castleton, who I mentioned earlier that Laker Tom is probably very infatuated with right now. 18 points for him, another solid outing. 6 of 7 from the free throw line, which is very impressive to me. 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 block shots, but 7 personal fouls. Yes, they do have up to 10 personal fouls in Summer League. So I think the flaws in this game and the pluses in this game were both on display today. I think he overall did well, again, outside of the defensive issues and fouling a little bit too much, which would be called instantly in the league. But if he can somehow work that out as a rookie, we'll go ahead and see. Maxwell Lewis, unfortunately, not very impressive at all with a big donut. Jalen Hood-Schifino, who's our first round draft pick, a little bit better performance today. A lot of good drives to the basket. Even though he's not getting by people, he is still using his arms and his strength to go ahead and muscle up shots. 8 of 17 from the floor, 20 points. He got 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Good performance overall as far as on that end. 0 of 4 from behind the arc, so that's still a work in progress. But again, the Lakers lost 109 to 99. And here today to talk about today's game, two great guests indeed. Oh, Ryan, Tristan, no, Tristan, not be good. Tristan, not be good for us, indeed. It is the good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check him out. It's Ox 1947, first man up, first man here. It is Joe Soro from Simblades and LakersBall.com. And Joe, great to have you here, my friend. Again, the Lakers come up a loss, but it's preseason, so you don't really look at the wins and losses there. I look at the little particulars. Again, Castleton, Cole Swider, and Max Christie look pretty good as far as their second go around for this preseason.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see the game. I saw pretty much the second half. Max Christie's showing that he's ready to be a rotational player. The one player that's impressed me in both games that I can see a lot of future potential is Castleton. I think once he gets once his body gets used to the NBA game and he's able to grow and train the correct way, he just has a feel for the game that I'm already really liking, and it could be something here that we're going to need to look at. I didn't think it was a bad game. I didn't think, but it was just not exciting either. This really no team concept. Their defense wasn't really there. San Antonio was able to get to the basket at will. It was okay. I don't know. I don't have much to say in terms of positive or negative, really.
Well, with Castleton, I want to say right now, again, you saw the positives and the negatives on display in full force there. He is a rookie. He is a 6'11" rookie, trying to block every shot in the universe there when it comes in. Unfortunately, that leads to a lot of fouls, a lot of pump fakes that he easily gets him, at least he bites, which was part of his MO. If you look at a lot of the profiles, the draft profiles and a lot of his games, he does bite early on the pump fakes. He has to get somewhat controlled on that. But 4 block shots. The most impressive thing, Joe, was not actually the scoring this time around, which it was in the first game. For me, it's the fact he got 6 assists. What does that tell you when you got a big man inside getting 6 assists in a
Well, it's
game?
because he's got a feel for the game. He knows. I mean, he shot. Let's look at it from the numbers standpoint. Okay, he shot 60% from the field, hit 90% from the free throw line, had 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 18 points, 4 blocks, and played 33 minutes. 33 minutes. That's a NBA number. If you're playing 33 minutes, especially at the center position, that's a good night. And him maybe going all out is him just saying, screw it. I'm just going to play hard and just see what happens. Well, refs seem to be pretty sensitive to his aggressiveness. And at some point, he's going to adapt to that and get better. And I believe he is going to be a regular in the future, barring any major injury.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this year. With this year, I think maybe tail end of the year at the best, at the earliest. Do you think he's going to get some time as a two-way player at the G League at South Bay first and see if he can get some burn there and develop his game even more?
You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing him on the roster playing a December, January game when there's a back-to-back. I definitely see a two-way setup there and put him in there and see what's up. Let him get some run, and let's see if he can adapt to the aggressiveness and the if it's bad in summer league. I think he's going to get like 3 fouls in the first minute if he plays the way he plays. But he definitely has an NBA body, obviously, in terms of height.
He's to get a little stronger, I think.
He's got a great future. I could see it. Max Christie, though, I do want to talk a little bit more about him. Max can't really show his full arsenal here because, again, you're still playing with guys that aren't likely going to be in the NBA or at least on an NBA roster.
Mhm.
And if he can maneuver what he's been showing here the last 2 games into other professionals, I think that could be really good, and it'll look like he'll be part of the rotation for this upcoming season. And that's really what I want to see. He's got to make those open shots. If he's making those open shots, even at
like he did today,
even at a 35% clip, he's playing. There's no doubt he's playing.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do unfortunately lose 109-99, but we are going to go ahead and point out some of the bright spots here on today's show, plus also some things that need work as well. But also here today, he's a good man indeed. He's the madman from Toronto. He just can't get out of Toronto traffic and lets us to watch the Lakers lose an exhibition, unfortunately, today. But still, he has some good things to say, I'm sure. This is a good man indeed. It is the Magic Man back with us now in the rotation once again. Sean, great to have you here, flaunting the purple and gold, looking handsome and dapper as always, according to everyone there in the chat as well. Truly appreciate everyone's kind words so far. It is immensely and greatly appreciated by all three of us. By the way, Joe, I think, who's it, Devotion? Yeah, Devotion is, I think, or was it, no, it was a Condor. Somebody in our chat, if you want to take a look, wants to share some brewskis with you. Just want to let you know. But
where are you located?
I already got them. Go to Sim Blades, and he'll go ahead and have lunch with you and go ahead and share the brewskis with you there. But Magic Man,
I'm in Southern California, so if you're anywhere near here, let me know.
Go.
I got a great place we can go.
And I will tell everyone out there on Saturday, I will be live for a good portion of the day at Summer League at Thomas and Mack. If you want to come by and say hi and talk Lakers, I will be wearing, since I don't have a Lakers fast break shirt yet, Joe's working on that, I know. I will be wearing some Lakers gear, but I'll be wearing an easily identifiable Pop Culture Cosmos shirt is what I'll be wearing. So just to make sure that everybody knows who I am, because if I just go there in a Lakers shirt, that'll be like 10,000 other people, Magic Man. So it'll be like, you won't find me because it is purple and gold. It's like a Lakers home game when you go there, my friend. But go ahead.
Endorphin. That's endorphin. Endorphin.
Yes.
Tell me where you're at, and we can figure something out.
Absolutely, absolutely, indeed. But Magic Man, I want to go ahead and ask you this. I'll be signing autographs and only charging $5. I'll do it for free. I'll do it for free, Blue. I'll do it for free. Joe, he would charge the $5. But I will say that Magic Man, the game today, you could take some. Don't give me the rock eyebrow. Some things as far as the game today, you can take as a positive. Max,
putting words in my mouth again.
Oh, yeah, that's why you love. You do the same for me all the time. When it comes to Max Christie, looked pretty smooth on the offensive end.
Yeah,
I really liked what I saw there. Tell me about what you saw that Max Christie about in his second year, when you need to play at that level in your second year of Summer League, that you've shown progression, that you're comfortable with what you're doing. Tell me what you liked about Max Christie today.
He was very decisive. When he wanted to shoot, he shot. When he wanted to put the ball on the floor and make a better pass, he did that. Very good progression from year one to year two drill. Last year we saw him. He got better as the year went along. His defense got steadily better, but his offense got steadily better too, because he decided he was going to go into the corner. And when he got the ball, he was going to shoot it. Well, no, he would hesitate. Do I want to shoot it here? Do I want to pass it out? This year, quite the opposite. He's very decisive. He's gotten a lot stronger too. Way to work on your lats. Way to work on your lats, Max. He looks more comfortable, Gerald. He looks comfortable shooting it from either side of the wing. He looked comfortable shooting it above the break. He looked comfortable when he put the ball on the floor. He just looks like a more decisive player, like you had observed during playback. He looks like a second-year player. This looks like somebody who understands what his role is, and as Joe eloquently stated, he's playing like he's a rotational player. Like, I'm not in the rotation, so to speak, but I'm playing like I'm in the rotation.
One thing I do want to say though that I did like as far as from Castleton, all kidding aside with Laker Tom, because I know Laker Tom is probably saying and great things about Castleton. Great, good, very good performance from him. But again, the fact is, when he gets into an NBA game, will he be able to stay on the floor? Because right now he just does not have the discipline. There's a reason why there's 10 fouls in the summer league game, my friend, and he used 70% of them today.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Well, that might be why he played the way he did. He probably wouldn't be as aggressive if it was 6.
Oh, look, the butterflies are going to be there. This
But
is,
rookie big men overall, they get called quickly on those fouls. You got to admit.
yeah, they do. They do. But he's, like you said, Gerald, he's 7'1". He could just stand there like this in front in front of the rim. He doesn't need to go for these pump fake baits. It's just bait for like Gerald was saying, like even summer league guys, he's but like Joe was saying, I think he needs a little bit just more seasoning. I think this is a person who needs to play a lot, but I don't think that the playing opportunities are going to be there for the big squad. So I think he's gonna play in the G League quite a bit, but I would like to see him come up and play well because, as Joe was saying, and I've seen Adam say it as well, I'm sure other people have seen the potential that he has. So I'm interested in seeing that as well. I just think he's not ready for the big show yet.
Again, they will not play him early. As far as I don't think we'll see the kind of quick progression on the floor in the NBA that we saw from Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves was he took a hold of his opportunity once it was given to him. And
Mhm.
that's something that's a key. Now, if there's some injuries that take place, AD or Jackson Hayes and their Lakers don't do what they need to do to fill out the roster with a quality big man, you know what? He might get that opportunity. So we'll see. It depends on if he's going to be ready for it. But I do also want to mention that Jalen Hood Shafino, Joe, a little bit there, not there. Again, only his second game, playing in summer league, but he's a guy that they want to handle the ball. He's going to be listed as a point or be serviceable as a point as far as the guy who's supposed to lead the offense when he's in there. Your thoughts on JHS? Again, driving into the basket, even though he's not able to get it by anyone, he's still able to get around with his arms good enough to either get a contact or get up a decent shot. The outside touch is still abysmal at this point in time. Your thoughts on JHS so far after 2 games?
I think Stone had this on point. I think he was a reach at 17. I think if we had gotten him in the second round, it might have been a better draft pick. He's 0 for 9 from 3. I know it's summer league, but it's not a good sign. He's not shooting well. We would need him to shoot well to have any chance at him being an immediate impact, which looks like it's not going to happen. But anyways, it's a summer league game. I get it. It's the beginning of his career, and if we're going to just base the analysis on the first 2 games, it doesn't look good right now in terms of his shooting. Yeah, and he doesn't have the next level speed to go to the basket. Well, look, he's a mid-range guy, right? And he's a guy that's going to do some pick and roll, but there's really no good role on our team either. That's the other problem. Even AD, as good as he is, he doesn't roll very well in a pick and roll on a consistent basis. So the stuff that he does well isn't going to be used a lot this year with this particular roster. It was a future pick. I don't know what Rob saw in a future with this guy, but I'm still thinking the reason why they picked this guy is they're setting themselves up in case they move D'Angelo, because they have very similar games, except D'Angelo can hit from deep at the moment, and they're probably anticipating Hood Schifino to eventually get to that level as well. Other than that, that's it. I'm looking at the bigs right now, man. I'll be honest. I'm looking at the bigs as much as Max Christie. We kind of knew Max Christie was gonna do what he was gonna do here in summer league, and he would have probably been more of a rotational player this year if we weren't trying to get in the playoffs the last 25 games of the season. I really believe if we weren't stressed about that, he probably would have got more playing time. But this time he is going to get that playing time because we're actually going to need that sweet shooting. And if he hits on those shots, it could change our offseason acquisitions or re-signings into an even better process.
Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break. It's Gerald Glassford along with Joe Soro and MagicMan Sean Grice. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you've not already subscribed, please do so today to get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break. Plus, also, if you like, share, subscribe, follow, or do anything that you can to support us right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Also, as well, Pop Culture Cosmos, of course, Lakerholics.com, LakersBall.com, and SinBlaze, and of course, the Upside Swings NBA Draft Podcast, and also the John McCalian channel. It is sincerely appreciated. But with the Lakers again 0-2 heading to Vegas, they're going to be starting their next game playing on Friday night. It is sold out. Victor Wembanyama, Victor Mania is sweeping Las Vegas already. They've got his billboard up here alongside I-15. MagicMan, it's now Victor. Funny though.
Wembania. You're looking for Wembania.
Yeah, Wembania. I was trying to say Hunklemania. But, not too long ago, I went to a game involving Victor Wembanyama and a ESPN nationally televised heavily, at that time, it was marketed pretty good.
Yes.
But nobody decided to show up, which is fine for me. As I told you during playback, I may have the only actual physical ticket to that game, which, obviously will make it rare and will make it valuable if
it may put a grandchild through college one day.
It may. We'll see if Victor, Scoot, and anybody else from that draft from G League or as far as the France team, the Mets, pops from that roster, either roster, it'll be looking good there. But it is now turned to Friday and Summer League. I'll be there Saturday. Friday, it looks like it's going to be a good game for the Lakers as well heading into there. What are you looking for the Lakers to go ahead and do? I know Victor Mania aside, what are you looking forward to as far as the Lakers needing to adjust heading into Las Vegas? What do you want to see them accomplish? It's not about wins and losses, but what do you want to see them accomplish in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I hopefully they all try and establish, their own individualness. Like, I understand that you're an individual, you want to showcase your talent, but you're also a Los Angeles Laker, and that means playing as a team. The last fun summer league team I remember we had, Gerald, was that I believe it was the 2017 one with Lonzo, Josh Hart. It was a fun group. That was probably the last time that it was fun and games for a group of Lakers in that environment. So I'm hoping they enjoyed the time together. But again, you're trying to become a professional, and that means as a Los Angeles Laker, you need to stand out somehow, some way. And obviously standing out within the team concept is difficult, but some guys have broken through. Alex Caruso broke through. He played within a team concept, but
that was such a great team. I was there for that. The 2017 team.
Yes.
That was like lightning in a bottle.
It was
all those different summer league players. Yeah,
absolutely. And you look back at the amount of talent they amassed in
I might have to do a summer school. We might have to do a summer school class on the summer league team.
I think so.
Lonzo Ball was the greatest summer league player in NBA history, wasn't he?
No, it was Kuzma.
It was the one that was. It was Kyle Kuzma that was.
But he was alongside that, absolutely. Yeah. And then you had Zubac as well. that team was loaded with good players. As
You
far
know,
as
it's
Yeah,
interesting.
that's probably the only summer league super team, Gerald.
yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
It's interesting that you guys talk about that team. You know,
I have good memories of it. I was there.
I look back. I look back at the since 2014 and who the Lakers brought to the team. You had Julius Randle, Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance Jr., D'Angelo Russell, Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma. And if the Lakers had not gone the LeBron or Anthony Davis route, they had the fourth pick that year that they got Anthony Davis, and that would have been Darius Garland. How we know what happened with Zoe, so you know that's what that was. But
Zoo, you mean?
Zoo, sorry, and then of course I forgot Brandon Ingram as well.
PMC actually.
Not
put
Zoo.
that
I'm
in your
sorry,
head.
we got Zoo too, but I'm talking about Alonzo. I'm talking about Lonzo. Lonzo is only one. Let's say,
You're right.
yeah,
PMC, you're right. Lonzo dropped 34.
yeah. So
Yeah.
if
Yeah, Zoe and Zoo. I always
you're right.
forget.
So look, I mean, just look at this team, guys. Yeah, Julius Randle, Zubac, Larry Nance Jr., Jordan Clarkson. These I'm telling you, we drafted and then we got
All NBA, all stars,
and then
men of the year.
right, and then you had Caruso.
What do we know? What did our scouts know?
We had
well.
And then you got Caruso as a non-drafted player. I mean, who knows what could have happened if the Lakers had sat down and said, "Look, we are going to run with the young guys." How would that have taken?
We also had PJ Dozier, Thomas Bryant. You know, we're just listing rotational NBA players at this point.
We should do a what if the Lakers stuck with their draft picks. I think that would be a great show.
That would be part of our summer. That'll be part of one of our summer classes for
So
Lakers.
stay tuned, folks. For those of you who just got on this show, this is the kind of stuff we're going to be bringing next. We can't have a boring summer because I will be honest, these last two games were pretty boring. But then again, you know, we're trying to put some excitement in this, and usually we can.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers did unfortunately lose 109-99 to the San Antonio Spurs in the second game for them at the California Classic. They now head to Las Vegas for a Friday night meetup in the Summer League as the whole entire league heads over to Las Vegas. I want to ask you this, though, Sean. When it comes to what you see from JHS, again, a lot of eyes are on him because of how high he was picked and who was passed over in order for the Lakers to pick him. And you and I will be, and Joe will as well, will be monitoring Cam Whitmore. I don't know, unless Cam Whitmore really pops, it's going to be hard for him to go ahead and break that rotation and develop in that Houston, just glut of young young front court studs that they've got there.
Yeah.
You know, so even if Cam Whitmore is going to be a star, it's going to take him a little while to get to that point, but we're going to keep an eye on him. Plus also as well, you know, we saw Jaime Jaquez Jr. He, as the pick right below the Lakers, he destroyed the Lakers on Monday. When you see that and you see how far JHS still has to go, does that concern you at all?
Yes. When you,
yes. I like that. For yes. I'll just say it. Yes.
when you put it like that, Gerald, yes. But I also think that there, at this point in time, there was some methodology behind what Pelinka was doing in the draft. And then we saw it subsequently in free agency. So you have Austin Reeves, who's shown himself to be, I would say Austin is one of the 5 most dangerous guards in the pick and roll in the NBA, Gerald. And I don't think that's an hyperbole.
Okay.
You have LeBron James, who's probably the biggest threat ever in the pick and roll as a big man with the ball. You also have Gabe Vincent, who's a prolific pick and roll basketball player. D'Angelo Russell is a very good pick and roll basketball player. I think this is a case of JHS, if everything works out, and never does, but if health is relatively speaking good for us, he should be watching a lot, not playing a lot, because you have a lot of guards on this team whose either primary or secondary skill set that's elite is pick and roll basketball. It's something he is good at, but he is nowhere near ready to play the kind of basketball we need him to play in this LeBron James era. You've stated eloquently, Gerald. So he's going to be doing a lot of watching. I like what I see as far as an outline goes. I've said that before about Max Christie. But what Joe said is correct. I mean, the lack of a shot right now from deep is concerning. And speed kills in the NBA, and he's not a speed demon either. So he's still got the mid-range touch. He hasn't lost confidence there. I like the way that he can finish in traffic too. That's a plus, but there are a lot of things and areas that need to be cleaned up with him. I just don't think he should see the floor a lot because I have Gabe Vincent, I have D'Angelo Russell, I have Austin Reeves, I have LeBron James, who are all pick and roll elite basketball players, and you're just going to have to sit and watch.
Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break. It is Gerald Glassford along with Joe Soro and MagicMan Sean Grice. Again, the Lakers unfortunately did lose 109-99, but we did try to get some good takeaways from it and some areas in need of improvement. Demoy Hodge, who is the other two-way player, scored 8 points. He's had some limited action in both games. I don't know how much confidence the Lakers have in him right now as of yet, getting some good minutes. So hopefully he'll get some good minutes so we can get a better idea of where he is in his progression come the summer league here over the next week or so. Joe, though, I guess what's on the minds of everybody out there, before we get into today's NBA free agency talk and also the talk of what will go on in Las Vegas later this year, which irritated you to no end, I want to go ahead and the ongoing saga of finding a big man continues. I know that the initials TT is still being thrown around there like crazy. And Dwight Howard's name is still being thrown around in our chat room, the best Lakers chat room that's out there, Lakers Fast Break. Mo Bamba today decided to take up a deal with the Philadelphia 76ers. Grant Williams, who in an emergency need can play center, he decided to go in a trade and sign and trade to Dallas, and he signed a 4-year, $53 million deal, I think, for him, if I'm not mistaken. Or I'll check out the numbers real quick if it was 4 for 53, but I think it was in that range. Your thoughts, though, my friend, when it comes to what the Lakers still need? Christian Wood is still out there, my friend. There must be a reason why he's still out there. Mo Bamba's gone, so no more Mo Bamba for us.
What was I angry about today?
The plan, but I was going to save that for later.
The what?
The play-in tournament.
Oh, that. You mean the tournament, mid-season tournament? Okay.
Don't do that, Magic Man. Don't say that. You might want to correct that statement because there's a very real possibility they can get TT.
I don't know where you guys
are. I stand by what I wrote.
I don't know where you guys get your information. Seriously, there's no sign of anything that they're going to sign Tristan Thompson.
As long as he's still out there.
I'd say it's still going to be down to Biyombo, Wood, or now that the Magic have released Bol. That would be one of the three that's very likely to take up that last spot. They have to get a legitimate center. So whomever they pick from those three is what they're going to pick. I don't see how they wouldn't. They have no center right now. No, Anthony Davis is not a center, but he will play center, it seems. But they still need a center. And one of those guys is going to get the mid-veteran minimum, whoever it is.
Yeah, because that's all you can sign. I know earlier this past weekend, Laker Tom had stated that they could get up to squeeze out 6 to 7 million. But doing further research, no, it is because they don't have bird rights on him either. They did on they did on Mo Bamba have bird rights, but he signed in Philadelphia. The Lakers can only sign whoever it is to a veteran minimum. So I'm hoping Christian Wood will try to go ahead and rebound his career here because I think he would be a really good fit. Bol is very slight of build, but is uniquely talented and skilled, which is something that is always intriguing to any NBA team once he clears waivers. Roy Estrada says, never say never, Sean. What size Lakers cap you wear? Oh my gosh. Hopefully that's not the case.
So,
and you want to clarify for this. That's before the season starts. If he is signed like a last minute playoff,
no, that doesn't work for me. It has to be before the season starts. That's correct. Gerald is correct.
Yeah, because somebody will pull that out on you 11 months from now and they'll say, remember when?
Yeah. No, it has to be before the season. Let's clarify that. Yeah. Thank you, Gerald. Yes.
All right. Yes. Looking out for you, bro.
Now, I do choose to open up the possibility of having to use condiments because I don't think I'll be actually able to digest this thing. But we will give it a shot, as they say, if that happens. But my God, we will not sign Tristan Thompson.
Another name, though, out there that could be waived and stretched here after the trades that were done today, because also Matisse Thybulle went to Dallas as well, is JaVale McGee. What about a possibility of a return, guys? Both you guys, your thoughts on JaVale McGee, maybe just rediscovering the fountain of youth from 3 seasons ago? No?
I'm not going to do this.
He was working out with Vando today, doing resistant bands. Looks great, but I that time has passed, guys. We need guys that are going to be able to play in an 82-game season. I don't think JaVale can do that anymore.
Sean, your thoughts on it, though? I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility. He's been on the Lakers team before, and he has a familiarity with LeBron. Again, I'm not looking for 2020 McGee if he decides, or 2019 McGee if he decides to come on back. I think that's something that, again, might be tantalizing as a name out there if he is indeed waived and stretched by Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, other than Christian Wood, he's probably the best Gucci option, considering what the rest of the options are like. You have Christian Wood, you have Bol, you have Willie Hernangomez.
I think the Hernan Gomez's should go back to Spain. I really think that I said to someone, I forget who was, that I think the Hernan Gomez's both have been underutilized in the NBA, and I really think they should just go kill it in EuroLeague.
Yeah, man, go play in our FC Barcelona and make 25 mil euros. They're good, very good players.
They are. They've both of them been misused in the league, and I think they both could have had better opportunities.
I agree. I mean, if it's not Christian Wood, sure, I'd take a flyer on JaVale McGee.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, when the choices are getting slimmer, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, we
TT is still for me a real possibility, only because
the fact Gerald, do you think if it was between Dwight Howard and Tristan Thompson signing?
He's not a center. What do you mean he's going to bring back? Why do you keep calling him TT? Like he's your friend?
Because
I don't like saying, because you won't let me say Tristan Thompson.
No, don't say TT. That sounds weird.
Tristan Thompson Kardashian.
You just call him Tristan Thompson. You don't need to throw in the K word.
Okay, Tristan Thompson is, but yeah, he just
so Joe doesn't like TT, so he's never used the word titillating ever in his life. I've
said the word, but I've not in that kind of way.
Lakers all day. I will say, Max Christie was supposed to be a good defender out of college.
He's titillating.
I will say, though, so far this summer, the plan as far as J.D. Dubois, coach of the Lakers team, they've been terrible as far as their perimeter defense, and unfortunately, he is part of it. So, if he is still can find the good defensive ability that he was known for, as far as supposedly having coming out, of college and into the NBA, that's what I'm looking for, because he was playing okay defense in the league last year, but he does need to go ahead and play that level, because when you're losing like they're losing as far, especially on the perimeter in both these games, it does pause for concern for me. JHS looked awful on the defensive end. Sean,
Mhm.
I mean, you got to admit that we saw him getting burned left and right on the drives. Max Christie, I think it's just a matter for him as awareness. He's just got to go ahead and be engaged defensively. I know he's focusing on his offensive game, so maybe that's what they're asking him to go ahead and do. So I'm not too putting a whole lot of stock into it, but with JHS, he was getting burned everywhere on the floor.
Yeah, like it's unfortunate, Gerald, but like it didn't matter whether it was Malachi Branham or Wesley. Uh, JHS was just getting spit roasted out there. It was really bad. Like his defense really needs fine tuning. But this is why Phil Handy is there, Gerald.
I hope so. This is why we
Yeah,
need him.
because this is where we need him. He needs to work really hard with him defensively, and like you said, Gerald, it's going to be a work. It's going to be a work. With Max Christie, I agree 100%. Can't add any more to that. You're dead on. It's just situational, and I think court awareness about where the spots on the floor he needs to be. It's just like you said, Gerald. It's just a timing issue right now, but he needs to work on that as well. It's like, and it's very fine with him. He isn't like getting badly beaten like we saw last year. It's complete opposite. He's definitely grown, but I really want to see him shine in summer league. To me, he's and it's so arbitrary, right? But to me, he's one of those players who could really be um, one of those rising stars here and maybe win the summer league MVP, and just cement his role as a rotational player on the like make the Lakers have no other choice. I'm going to play 20-25 minutes. I'm going to make me play 20-25 minutes. That's what I want to see from him.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. Please go ahead and subscribe today to get the latest notifications so when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break. Joe, there was a little bit of movement today in the free agency market. Again, Dallas, a couple maneuvers today to shore up some of that defense. We were picking on Ronnie, I think, the other day because he was getting a little bit on our chat as far as the great members of our chat there and telling him how great the Mavericks were and all that. But they said, you look good on one side of the ball, but you didn't look good on the other side of the ball. And today they shored up a little bit of that with Grant Williams and Matisse Thybulle coming to Dallas. Well, okay, Matisse Thybulle's on an offer sheet, and I'm not sure if Portland's going to actually match. They could just only match or threaten to match just to get a sign and trade out of it. I really don't think he serves very well right now for what they're doing in Portland long term. Your thoughts on what Dallas is going to do with both those guys if they get them both for their defense?
I'm just waiting for Kyrie to screw something up for Dallas. I don't. There's a bad culture in Dallas, regardless of who they bring on there. And I would say if Dallas needs to be concerned about something this coming year. If this shenanigans continue, this inability to focus on winning a championship with Luka Doncic on your team, if they don't play well, you're going to start probably seeing a little bit more activity from Luka's camp, saying, "Hey, yeah, I'm feeling like I'm going to want to go somewhere else if you don't figure something out here." So I'm expecting that. Kyrie hasn't given us any reason to not think that. And Grant Williams, I'd say is probably one of the more overrated players of this last year. I kept hearing about this guy being so great or good, and I don't know what people are really talking about. I think
So the
sometimes
year they
we
went to the
overinflate it.
finals, though, 2 seasons ago, Joe, he was really an integral part of that team in the rotation. This year, even though he shot 39% from behind the arc, he was in and out of the rotation, and it was very curious to even the Boston fan base why that was.
No one. So if Boston fans don't know, then what happened in the locker room that he didn't play? Was this like the Kumunga situation in Golden State? What was the situation?
Oh, for Kuminga?
Kuminga, sorry, Kuminga, I did pronounce that
But
wrong.
I was talking about Grant Williams.
I know, but it's similar to that they had similar effects on their team, but they weren't playing in the playoffs on a regular basis.
Yeah.
What was the problem? Okay, he shoots 39% from three. What was the problem for Boston in a lot of these games? They couldn't make a shot to save their life. So where did Boston screw up there? Or was he not doing well on defense or whatever?
It couldn't have been as bad as Al Horford was. Like the fact that he was
and
playing-
Williams is strong too.
Yes, he is.
But did anybody ask Joe Mazzulla why? If Boston fans don't know, then there's something going on where there's some kind of thing behind the scenes that's not being talked about. What is it?
Well,
Here's what he said. Here's the exact quote. Here's what he said. We have a plan to use the depth that we need in order to give us the lineups that we think can really help us. Obviously, in the playoffs with minutes expanding, you look to play 7 or 8 guys, which we've kind of done throughout. I thought Peyton gave us an opportunity with his shooting, with his playing. Joe, what you were talking about with Dave Roberts, this is what's happening here. The data sheets are telling me
analytics kept him from playing
Grant
apparently.
Williams.
Good call there, Sean. That's exactly what it was. Because there's no reason why you shouldn't have someone who's that energetic, who could shoot that well in a position that you needed shooting well and giving you the hustle. Where are we sitting here? Are the Boston Celtics the Dodgers of the NBA? It certainly looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably why they felt that they didn't need Udoka. Oh, well, you know what? We've got a little bit more analytics going our way. Mazzulla's part of the staff. We'll just shift him over here and nothing will change. And for a while there, it looked like nothing was changed. However, when it comes to primetime sports is playoffs. Analytics don't do dick. Okay? It's the players that make the difference. It's the timely hits or the timely baskets. This cannot be done on a data sheet. So this is how it works, guys. What made the Denver Nuggets play so well? Let's use the Lakers as an example since we're a Lakers show. Jamal Murray kept making shots. Our guys didn't. It's that simple. So when can you identify using analytics and then using common sense?
And that's something I want to ask you guys while we're here. And that's something with all the praise that has come the way of the Lakers from a lot of analysts out there in regards to what they've done this offseason, MagicMan. There is still one thing that said they've gone the route of getting depth, acquiring people that throughout the season will give them their ups and downs, but will also, if managed the right way and coached the right way, will get the Lakers to a much better regular season with this current roster. The thing is, the question is in the playoffs, do you need a definitive third scorer? The Phoenix has gone the route of, okay, we're just going to throw the 3 best scorers we can get our hands on. And then if there's enough guys out there, they're going to help us out. Fine. So be it. Otherwise, we're just going to go ahead and crunch time and get you, those 3 guys off on you. When it comes to the Lakers, they have chosen a different route. Was it a good move in your opinion, or should you have looked into more about the going back to a big 3, even though it did not work for you the last time around?
Yeah, Gerald, I think when you break it down like that, I think they've pivoted, and
Well, that's what the CBA is doing. You either do it one way or the other, because
way,
there's not an in between.
No, there's no in between. There's a fork in the road now with the CBA. There's a fork in the road. You either go one way or you go the other way. There's no sitting in the middle anymore. You're right. So, I mean, to me, like Gerald, I'm thinking that the Lakers made the right decisions as an organization to decide to go the way of depth, especially only because it worked it worked originally, that plan with LeBron and AD. I think with those two players, essentially where they were then and where we are now, some things have changed, but I think for the most part, if you had team with depth around them, I think you can run back that same formula and try and win a championship. With the three big scorers, you could go that route, but I'm tempted to think that at this point in time, Pelinka has a methodology to what he's doing, and he would be very reluctant to try and disrupt that chemistry because he's got visuals of what happened the first time he did that. I don't think he'd make a secondary mistake like that. I could be wrong, but Rob Pelinka doesn't like we've ripped on him, and rightly so, for some of the dumb moves he's made, but he doesn't strike me as a dumb man. So I don't think he'd make that mistake again. I think for the next 2 years, they should run it back with depth and then reevaluate after that. But I don't think adding a third star with LeBron and AD would necessarily bear the fruit that you'd want to see.
Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break. It is Magic Man, Sean Grice, Joe Soro, myself, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Truly appreciate it. Lakers unfortunately did lose 109-99. Second game of the California Classic as they head to Las Vegas this weekend for some games out there, which I hopefully will be able to go ahead and follow along on playback. I'll be out there on Saturday, so go ahead and check me out. If you want to hit me up, if you're going to be in there in town on Saturday at Summer League, I'll be glad to go ahead and say hi. Joe, same question holds to you, my friend. Again, the Lakers have found success with a team based off LeBron and AD and depth that provide defense and transition, not necessarily great shooting, but defense and transition, which is what I've been talking about since 2019. They look to be doing something similar again as they did after the trade deadline, getting away from the big three. Are you hopeful that they stay on this route, or do you see what you're doing in Phoenix and say, you know what, it may be better off for the Lakers to do just that?
I don't know necessarily if I agree with there's one or the other to set up the team, one way or the other, I should say.
I mean, you could draft or build a team that gets a third, but it's just so hard to do so.
I'm going to stick to my guns. I think just Russell Westbrook was the worst number 3 you could have.
Not going to argue it there.
Because if you had, let's just, for hypothetical reasons, if you had Dame Lillard or Kyrie Irving, not Kyrie's baggage, just his game. Imagine him shooting those shots in this year's playoffs. Just imagine that. How much of a difference it would have made. Same with Dame. Then you have three guys.
Oh my God! Could you imagine that if Russell Westbrook and Dillon Brooks were just chucking up bad shots back and forth? Yeah. Oh my God, Joe, that's a nightmare, brother.
There is no formula, guys. In a lot of ways, it's depending on the time, depending on the year, depending on who you play. There's too many variables on what works and what doesn't, and the Lakers just had the worst number 3 you can have. A guy that doesn't listen to the coach, that doesn't shoot well in an era where you need to shoot well as a guard. He is an empty statter. He is a guy that's past his prime, so you can't depend on his freakish ability to kind of get by on the things he lacks. It just was a bad from every end. And looking at it now, the reason why they went the route they did is because that's what they could control. They can control bringing back Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, and Rui Hachimura. They could control that. And then whomever they could get for the MLE or the BAE. I mean, that's all this was. And at the same time, he did set the salaries up so that if that should present itself, again, how the season plays out now, they're in great shape. We're all in agreement, and it doesn't matter if it's Laker fans, people that are watching, or just anyone, even the staunchest Laker hater. This team is going to play well. They're not going to play as bad as they did last year. This is just not going to happen. There's too much talent. There's too much balance.
There's no way they're going to start 2-10.
Not at all. No way. No way. Not with this. Unless half the team gets injured at the training camp. That's it. But this team is going to play well. How well is going to be the question. Are they going to be 20-10 after 30 games? Or are they going to be 25-8 after 33 games? Are they going to be 30-15 after 45 games? That will dictate what the Lakers do if there's an opportunity. So let's talk about that for a second so it makes sense. If they're sitting at 33-15, which is right around that all-star area, right? Maybe a little bit more. It's like 52 games, I think. So let's say 50 games. Let's just keep it simple. 35-15. If they're 35-15 and LeBron is playing 29 minutes a game, AD hasn't gotten a major injury, and he's playing really well, and the Lakers are not really playing him on a back-to-back every other week, whatever, I think they're going to ride that out. I don't think they're going to try to do anything unless there's a demand from some player who wants to come to LA that you think will take us to the title for sure. But see, that's the problem. If they are sitting at 35-15, because now you're going, are you sure you want to screw this up? So it's very likely the Lakers aren't going to do anything. They're just going to roll with it. If they're sitting at 29 and like 22, like 29-22, for sure there's going to be some noise because we're going to be yelling it. The fans are going to be yelling it like, dude, we need someone else. Can we package D'Angelo Russell and whoever for a third guy? That's what will happen there. But I do think that it's highly unlikely the Lakers are going to play bad if LeBron and AD are playing. It would have to be something where, by the way, thanks for that, Roy. I knew that D-backs had lost, and I hadn't had a chance to check the score because I've been on the show. Thank you for that. But if they're playing well, which I believe they will, if LeBron is playing and AD is playing, we're not talking about this. We're just gonna see if this thing can ride out into the playoffs, and hopefully that depth and that ability to have a 7, 8, 9-man rotation during the regular season will allow them to drop it down to 6 to 7, so that they can then use the full arsenal in a 7-game series.
Sean, I want to turn your attention to a matter of the NBA announcement earlier today, which involves the city I live in now, Las Vegas, Nevada. I will say that Las Vegas, once the scourge of the NBA after the terrible all-star game from years past where there was all sorts of calamity. And of course, after that, David Stern, Joe's favorite NBA commissioner of all time, after the Chris Paul non-trade debacle, he decided in his infinite wisdom to go ahead and say never again for NBA at that time. We've slowly, through the power of the Summer League, been able to ingratiate ourselves back into the good graces of the league, who've now embraced gambling, sports gambling. That's another issue of Joe's right there, but I won't go into that one. There was an announcement made earlier today, then December 7th to 9th, that this in-season NBA tournament, which I guess right now, if you're someone that's in love with soccer or loves European football, is familiar with that concept. Adam Silver watched, observed, liked that concept, and he's employing it here. I look at it and I'm saying, why? I don't really think it's right now. Again, but then again, I was really not on board with the play-in tournament, but that has actually worked out well. Your thoughts on a in-season tournament for over a couple days here in Las Vegas? Guys get $500,000 for the winners. Again, for me, that's these guys that are making millions of dollars. I'm not sure why they're going ahead and doing it. I'm not sure why they're disrupting this season for it either.
Yeah, I have a hard time wrapping my head around this one, Gerald. I'm a hoop head.
A great
Uh,
question, Kurt. What does the winner get again? I'm not even sure. That's not even stressed. I'll look it up.
Well, individually, all they get as a player, you get is $500,000. Organizationally, I want to. Something tells me it had something to do with the plan, like home court advantage or something. I
Yeah,
thought
but
there
what if
was
you
some
win the
kind of.
tournament and your season goes belly up afterwards?
Yeah, exactly. So something that's kind of gimmicky about this. And look, I get it. I'm a soccer fan too, and there are there are different concepts around the world that are different than in the West. Like those kind of tournaments happen when there's either a break in league play or they have space uh, to organize something like that. With this, it's you're basically hitting the ground running here because that tournament it's during while the season is progressing, which is again kind of a strange ripple there. Don't like the idea, Gerald. It feels like really messy, like not organized at all. It kind of feels jumbled as an idea. I don't think it'll go over very well, and I think the NBA will scrap it.
I will go ahead and say now, before I get you on, Joe, about what it's all about. All teams will participate in the group stage, which will consist of 6 groups total, 3 per conference, and chosen by a random draw based on the team's winning percentage the previous season. Each team will play 4 games in its group, with the 6 group winners making the knockout stage, along with 2 wild cards who finish with the best winning percentage and not first in their groups. The knockout stage games will be a single elimination through the final. I have a really, really good question. Huh?
What?
Why? I just don't understand it. This is just really, if it's too complex, it's going to go over a lot of people's heads.
It,
Joe, this sounds even more ridiculous when I read it out. Your thoughts on this? Because Joe ran it on our playback. I want to make sure the folks hear it as well.
What? This is why.
Here it comes.
Why do you have a player association rep? What is the point? Was there any point in paying Michelle Roberts to be your middle person? Did these players even look at the CBA? You can't complain afterwards, folks. Didn't you learn this from the freaking, I can't use the right word here because it's a family show. The NFL players had a chance to take Roger Goodell by the throat and the owners and take them and push them up. And then they failed like the greedy, weak guys that they are. They complain afterwards. That's the point. Why the anger, right? Why did the volume go up? Because this is a microcosm of usually all the BS in life. You complain after when you had a chance to diffuse the problem in the womb. But because you wanted to get your money, now, well, let's just close the deal. We'll complain later. Oh, good. It's easy to complain. It's hard to solve the problem. So now you signed the CBA without even probably reading it. We were expecting some kind of hit, struggle, just a little bit. Oh, no, they're signing the CBA. It's over, done. Well, this is what you get. This is what you get. Now Adam Silver's going to throw in-season tournaments. There's 30 teams. They're all going to make the playoff in some degree. Like, what is this? This goes back to the participation focus. Participate. Be in what you're having an issue with. Stop waiting for someone else to solve the problem. You solve the problem. And if you don't solve the problem, shut up. Shut up. Don't complain afterwards. This is what we get now. An in-season tournament where stats matter. And here's the part that my brain is not working here. Why are stats counted up until the championship game? Who said and okay, we're gonna count the stats except the last game.
It's like the play-in game. It's like the play-in game where
did anybody ask?
They don't count those in playoffs.
Where was the thought process there? Like, what happens? No. See, if somebody comes and complains that your idea is stupid, they don't get it. They're the get off my lawn guys, or they're just trying to be, contrarians. This is stupid. The play-in is still stupid, even though it's entertaining. It is stupid. Okay, you want more participation. You want all this, okay.
Yeah,
go ahead, Sean.
But you're right, Joe. But the play-in makes sense, fundamentally.
The play-in makes sense. I agree with it. And since then, I've learned that it creates a lot more competition, et cetera, et cetera. But why don't you count the stats there during the playoffs? Essentially, doesn't that when the playoffs start?
Yes. Yeah.
Why don't those stats count either?
I don't agree. I don't agree it's a playoff.
You don't agree it's a playoff? That's where the Lakers playoffs started, essentially.
And that's why this whole thing is diluted. We're talking about players that are not. Look, I know it's not easy to solve the progression thing of society. Like, people are not going to watch all 82 games, so you got to throw in some kind of thing to get their attention, right? But how about if you care about your players' health, if these guys are pansies and can't play 82 games a year anymore, and you seem to cater to everything they want, whenever it comes to their feelings and their emotions, then try to limit the damn travel. Make it more regional. Make it more exciting to have rivalries. They used to play teams 6 times during the year. Why did they stop it? I don't know. Well, go back to it. Then the owners don't have to worry about giving back regular season games. You can't give back regular season games because you're going to jack up all the stats, right? That's another big part of that. So how about we do this? How about you make the division matter again? Make it matter again. Play 8 times within your division. Then you're traveling from LA to LA, which is soon the Clippers are going to be in Inglewood, right? LA to LA. LA to Sacramento, 1 hour flight. LA to Phoenix, 1 hour flight. LA to San Francisco, 1 hour flight. If you have those 8 times a year, or 4 times, let's say, it's a little easier than flying to freaking Dallas and flying to Houston one less time. Have them play outside their division, maybe twice. And then now you're not exerting a lot of energy on flights, dealing with swelling. When you go up in the airplane, your swelling gets worse, all this crap. Instead, hey, let's make this lame freaking tournament in the crappiest city on this planet, Las Vegas. Dirty, gambling, skanks everywhere. What the hell is this? What kind of
I live in Las Vegas. I disagree with you wholeheartedly.
You in Henderson?
No, I live in Las Vegas.
You actually live in Vegas?
I live in Las Vegas. Yes. So kiss my ass on that one.
Image, guys, hypocrisy. I talked to you guys about this on playback. I don't like hypocrisy. You keep telling me you guys can't. Not you. I'm talking in general. People out there that keep telling me how I should act. Okay, we care about families, and we care about the good things, and we care about equality and this. Oh, by the way, we're going to have a tournament in Sin City so we can make more money and gambling gets set up more, right? Don't tell me that's not what it is. Why Vegas? Why Vegas? And don't tell me Vegas is a family city. You ever walk Vegas at 7 o'clock at night with kids?
Vegas has enough hotel rooms in the space and also arena space to go ahead and be able to take it.
Vegas is for adults, not for children. Okay? Don't tell me you have
I love
something.
Circus
Don't
Hotel.
tell me your program is for families and then send shit. Send stuff to Vegas. Am I wrong? Seriously, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Vegas? That was your thought, Vegas? If you had said Hawaii, I would have been, oh, okay.
Hawaii.
Kind of like a Hawaii invitational, a little vacation in the middle of the season. At least that makes sense for a player. Oh, you guys are sending us to Hawaii in the middle of the season? All right, cool.
That's a logistical cost that the NBA does
not. Oh, my God. A logistical cost.
Yeah, so that's what
$20 billion a year business isn't going to be able to handle a couple of flights to Hawaii?
Hey, Joe. Joe.
Yeah.
The NFL stopped going to Hawaii, didn't they? And where is their Pro Bowl held now, Gerald?
Their Pro Bowls now all over the place. You saw Hawaii was like kicked to the curb, which is terrible. I love Hawaii too. I'll defend PMC. Let me amend that. I'll defend Vegas. I'll defend SoCal. I'll defend San Diego, and I'll defend Hawaii because I love all 4 of those places. Absolutely, just great places. But Joe, it is Sin City. I cannot dissuade you on that. I cannot argue with you on that. But there are places that families can go in Las Vegas. There are places that families can go on the Strip. Again, that's it. There is certain places where I would not take kids. I agree with you, but there are also places where you can't take families. I've seen more of the Strip than you have ever in your life.
In daytime, people that should not be walking around there at daytime with kids around. I'm sorry, I'm sensitive to it. I was sensitive to this before I even had children, okay? You don't walk around, adults should not be walking around a public area like that where you see kids. First of all, the smell has gotten, don't tell me the smell isn't bad, okay? Every freaking time I'm at the Strip now, the smell is everywhere. Okay,
just on the Strip
it's
the other day.
Everywhere. Don't tell me. I'm not even. I didn't want to bring that up here. Every time I walk on this Strip, it's the same smell. You know what smell I'm talking about?
No, I don't. The smells fine to me.
At night, I'm not taking my kids out at 11 o'clock at night. Okay, you can blame me. Okay, I'm talking about 7 o'clock in the evening. We want to go watch that Bellagio sprinkles show, whatever the hell that is. Or just look at the lights.
The sprinkle show. It's the.
I'm just saying it's a very contradictory.
It's Sin City.
Vegas.
You're making an excuse.
I haven't been to Las Vegas, but I can say wholeheartedly and assuredly that Vegas smells better than any part of New York City, Joseph. I could say that with 100%.
I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there because I haven't been to New York.
I don't think that's true. Look, I've gone to New York.
Say that, and you know what? I know Nick Molina enjoys New York, but Nick, you know what I'm talking about. New York smells.
I'm not going to go there. It's up to you guys on that one.
See, Clover here, Ray knows exactly the smell I'm talking about.
No, I disagree on that.
There. No, don't be in denial. Don't be in
denial.
I
won't be in denial.
Don't tell me.
Don't tell me.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. You are a family program and tell me you want to have your tournaments in Vegas.
I thought the NBA
tournament
does.
That we don't want.
The NBA wants the tournament.
We are forced to watch the play-in. We're not going to be forced to watch this tournament.
Don't ask me that. NBA, talk to Adam Silver. They like Vegas now. The proximity, I guess the relatively still inexpensive price, even though it does cost a lot more to be around here. And then, the fact is there's a ton of hotel space here that you can pretty much do on the fly and book on the fly. That's why they love Las Vegas. That's going to be around NFR
that's why they
time.
love Las Vegas.
Hold on. Now, you're right. Later on in December, that'll be right around the National Final Rodeos time. So there'll be a lot of cow dung and horse dung. So, of course, it's going to smell a little bit there. I'll give you that. But around that time, with all these NBA teams are here and all the fans and whatnot, they're the only ones that can handle that while still having the NFR, while still having CES around the corner. It's because Vegas is set up for these kind of venues. Find another city that can hold these kind of, the amount of people that you want on such short notice, because it's only a few months away. There you go. Vegas wins, baby, whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
and we
Sorry.
lose. That's great.
Sorry.
Vegas wins and we lose.
I just don't
That's
like the
nice.
concept, man. Okay, I just getting back to the concept, and no, stop beating on my on the city here because that's another thing entirely. I will tell you though that the concept is just asinine. I agree with you, Joe, on that. I mean, if I had to go ahead and explain it to everyone in a paragraph, and we're still all like, "Huh?" It just seems very nonsensical. Especially, you know who I feel bad for, Joe. I feel bad for the announcers who's got to announce this crap. That as far as how it breaks down, who is eligible for what, who's going to go advance where. It's like you need you need to teach a class in order to go ahead and get this right. The play-in people, just the fact that the play-in doesn't do it the way that you thought they were going to do it, as far as the right matchups, and they decide to do in their own little way. You had to explain that to everybody. Now everybody gets it. This is even steeper learning curve for something that's happening in season, for something that most of these players, Joe, don't want to play in. Most of these players don't give a crap about the extra $500,000. If somebody gets hurt, if there's a major injury during this, like let's say LeBron goes down during this, or let's say a Victor Wembanyama, or let's say some guy that's out there, because we don't even know what the consequences were. The question in our chat earlier is like, okay, so what does the winner get out of this outside of some cash? We don't even know because it doesn't even list what the winner will get. Because remember, the All-Star game, they tried to spice things up as far as wasn't the baseball All-Star game that the winner would get the home in the World Series. Is that correct?
Yeah,
The
until they
the
created a tie.
Yeah, which is absolutely stupid in of itself. It takes away from everything that you do in the regular season. This is just again an attempt by Adam Silver to go ahead and get something that's made for television, like you said, Sean, for them to get the major bucks, to get advertising dollars, to get eyes. As far as they're concerned, I don't like it at all. I'm not happy with it either. Yes, it is coming into the town that I moved into back 25 plus years ago, but it is something I'm not exactly enthralled with either. Even if the Lakers do come here, it still doesn't make sense to me. And the first major injury that happens in this tournament, whether it's this season or next or whenever, they're going to reconsider that, and that's going to be on them.
I think there's some numbers they put together that they think this is going to work.
Oh, I'm sure it'd probably work money-wise, just to get the
as long
buy-in
as it
from the
makes money
players.
wise, that's all that's going to matter, right? We have to endure this.
Because that's all it is. That's all it is right now for the NBA. It's about money. It's about money. If the league expands to a Seattle and Vegas team, or Mexico City or London, you and I know it's not just because that the talent base is there and all that stuff. It's because of the $500 million fee that they have to pay to even get into the league, that the owners will share on that revenue. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. SD Hydro says it best. It's all about the bag right there. So again, I'm not disagreeing with you on the concept. I disagree with you on Vegas, but I'm not disagreeing with you on the concept of this. I think this is something that is setting itself up for disaster. If somebody gets hurt with a season-ending injury, really there's going to be an outcry from the fans on this being a failed experiment.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it would. Yes, it would, Gerald. It would be an unmitigated disaster. I happen to think they're going to scrap this halfway before it's even completed. That's my gut feeling on this, is that they're going to pull the cord about halfway through, let it run its course, but I don't think it's going to last.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Gerald Glassford along with Joe Soro. And
Gerald, you're right. And everybody's right too. It's about the money, but it's also about selling me on something. If you have to over-explain something in order to get me to buy your product, I'm not going to buy it. If it
gets the ratings and money,
if it takes you longer than 10 seconds to try and explain what you're selling me, bye.
But the thing is, Sean, if we watch it, if it gets you, Joe, and I, if the Lakers are there, have no choice but to watch it because we have to be here for the post games. But if this makes money, regardless of what we think, it's going to continue. for the long
Yes,
term.
you're right about that, Trail. There's no question about it. If it does make money for them, it will continue. There's
And
no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Their TV deal was already astronomical beforehand. They're renegotiating this. God knows what number's gonna come up, Gerald. We've seen the former Pac-12, the Big Ten, the SEC. Now the NBA TV contracts have come up for renegotiation. You're right, Gerald. If they can make money off this, then that's what the partners want.
I was thinking about it a little bit more, Joe, and you know how the first time that the regular fans, not us, but the regular fans out there, the casual fans, start tuning into what they see on the NBA basketball product for the season is at Christmas. That's the first time you really start to get ratings, you really start to get interest and buy-in from the casual fan out there. They're proposing this about 3 weeks earlier, Joe, saying that, you know what, maybe we can get the buy-in from casual fans that much sooner.
I don't understand why they would think people who are watching the NFL care about the NBA in November or beginning of December.
That's the thing, because during first week of December, it's pretty lousy as product as far as it's a watch out there for a lot of people. So for us, it was not exactly a pretty time of the year either. It was we were in the doldrums at that point in time. So this is a way for the league and their mindset, I believe, to try and spice
I
things
think
up.
the NBA this is the part of the NBA that's not doing well in terms of the representative of the league or the players like LeBron. The stuff that's suffered in the NBA, and I don't know if even suffered is the right word. The salary cap keeps going up, so that means they're making money. We had a COVID year; they lost like a little bit of money, and then the following year they caught up again. So
Yeah,
this
even that was with Joe. That was even with the arena's half full.
this thing is fixed, guys. This is fixed. All the money's fixed. It doesn't matter what we say. I'm just yapping right now for no reason, honestly. There's no reason for me to sit here and really talk about it other than to entertain. It's a
Well,
waste of breath.
I know, sir.
This thing is
Yeah.
fixed, okay? You have we have so many reluctant stars in the league. LeBron is really the last of the what megastars embrace their place in their league. You have guys like Durant. You have like Jokic. You have Joel Embiid. These guys don't give a crap about representing the NBA. They want to get theirs. They want to win their individual awards. They don't care about taking pride in being the main image of the current NBA. They don't care, and that's why fans don't care. But at the same time, who cares though? It's the gamblers, right? It's the people that are gambling. People don't care about Jokic and Embiid. They care about the gambling, right? That's what's been created here.
And I'm not going to deny that. As far as
Okay, so
in
if
this
that's the
town, a lot of
case,
it is based off that.
if that's the case, then this is never going to end, and we're going to continue to complain about the stupid decisions that they're making because it doesn't matter what they. I told you this on the show a few times a few days ago. There is no consequence for sucking anymore. Nothing, especially if you're established. There's no one can lose by sucking anymore. Michael Jordan was one of the worst transactional owners ever. And he made, what was it, $2.7 billion in the time he bought the team as a majority holder to now.
Yep.
That was his reward. What happened? And this is not just Michael Jordan. This didn't start Michael Jordan. This started actually with Donald Sterling. That's when I first noticed it. Oh, Donald Sterling, how are you? You're a racist pig. By the way, here's $2 billion. You bought the team for how much? Oh, you bought it for $700 million back in whenever, 1984. Here, 70 million or whatever it was. Here's $2 billion for being a piece of garbage, right? Daniel Snyder, how much did he sell the Redskins for? Oh, I'm sorry, the Commanders. Who was the other one? Pat Bowlen. Well, Pat Bowlen was a good dude. I wouldn't say the Denver to Walmart thing was a big deal, but you have all these.
It kind of it did start with Sterling, Joe, but it really started with Howard Schultz when he bought the Seattle Supersonics. He was kind of the first guy who thought that he literally, like, money could buy a new league. Like, he could change the way the league operates, right? And he slowly found out that when he bought the Sonics that it wasn't like running Starbucks. It's not a coffee company. And he, like you said, Joe, like not a dummy either, similar to Michael Jordan. I'll just wait because this asset I have is going to appreciate. It's not going to depreciate. It's just going to keep appreciating because the money is just endless.
Because there's 30 teams in the NBA, and there's a lot of rich people out there that just want the status of owning a professional sports team. It's not about making money anymore. The TV contracts have guaranteed that you're whether it's inflation involved, whatever time, it's like California real estate. You keep an NBA team for 10 years, your investment will on the average double, if not more. So that's what we're in, guys. I want it to be clear that it doesn't matter anymore, guys. It doesn't matter if you suck. And it's funny. I had said this 10 years ago. I said about the NFL before COVID. It's weird how it kind of happened. I said, if there wasn't an ass in the seat at any of the 32 stadiums in the NFL, they'd still make money. The concessions, the tickets for those seats is just extra money for the owners. The TV contracts. Did you guys know that the NFL is the only business entity that tells the networks what they're gonna get paid, what they're gonna pay them? They tell them. It's not the other way around. The NBC doesn't go, hey, Roger Goodell, we're going to pay you $100 billion this week. No, I think I want 120. Yeah. And you're going to give it to me. Otherwise, I'm going to go set up at the country music channel or whatever the hell is out there, cable, whatever, right? They'll pay it, right? They'll figure it out, right? I don't know. But we are complaining for no reason. This will never change again. The planet will have to blow up before things will change. COVID couldn't stop it. China couldn't stop it. All these self-righteous, I'm never going to watch the NFL ever again because they stood on their heads in the middle of the field. Oh, really? That's why every time I went to a bar, you guys were all watching it? And you know who those guys are, right? Mm-hmm. They're all wearing their shirts. They all got their trucks all decaled. Yeah, America, America. I'm never going to watch it again. What do you mean I'm not going to watch it again? I just saw you in the bar. Fucking full of crap. Stop being full of crap. We're here complaining, knowing it's not going to go anywhere. But hell, at least it's entertaining for some anyways.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do unfortunately lose in preseason action today. 109-99. They head to Las Vegas, Joe's favorite city, right there for Summer League starting on Friday. And we'll make sure we carry the game on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, which you can join us. And then, of course, we'll do a post game as well for Friday and then Sunday as well. I'm looking forward to seeing if the Lakerholics can go ahead and head up the show on Saturday because I will be at Summer League. So we'll see what happens there. But before we head on out, guys, let's reel it back in. Let's go ahead and finish up our thoughts on the Lakers and what they did today. Again, Max Christie on the offensive end. I don't think he was really in tune on defense. He hasn't been for the first two games. Really think that he can play better defense. I'm hoping he will once the lights come on for camp. He's been really working on his offensive side. He really looks smooth there. I really see some signs that if he continues to progress, we could actually see him being a regular part of the rotation ahead of Cam Reddish, who I'm hoping that that's the case because Cam Reddish, for all the athleticism and promise he has in the world, he can't hit a three to save his life at 30%. Your thoughts, though, on the team, Castleton, solid game, still got to work on the discipline. There's some signs there for the Lakers going forward.
Yes. So the three guys that got more than 30 minutes tonight were Colin, JHS, and I want to say Max Christie.
Yeah,
So
Christie, yep.
so
He
those,
played 26. No, it's not the wrong ones. Yeah, 30. Max Christie played 30. Colin Castleton, 32. And JHS was 30 as well.
so obviously they want to take a long look at those three and
Mm-hmm.
and see what's going on.
Swider played 27.
Yes. Swider played 27. Lewis didn't get a lot of minutes. Gerald, I
22.
think it was just
He
under
didn't take any
25.
shots. He was just
No.
out there running back and forth.
Yeah, I'd like to see him a little bit more assertive out there. Like, you're out there to show what you got, Max. So shoot the ball. Other than that, Gerald, I think we are who we are with these young guys. I mean, it's going to be Colin, Max, and Cole Swider and JHS are going to get the majority of the minutes. If Max plays a little bit better, I could see him getting in the 30s too. But we're going to see what we got coming up. I hope it's just like a fun group again, Gerald. Like, I don't expect them to be the 2017 group that was very special to a lot of us, but I expect them to have some fun and enjoy being a Laker. And hopefully they come out with positive outlook.
Again, when it comes to the Lakers and what they need, Joe, of course, Bol Bol's still out there. Obviously, a topic as far as the skill that he brings, but also as well Christian Wood. Do you see the situation with the Lakers being settled, hopefully in the next couple of days? What are you looking for the Lakers as the team heads southwest to Las Vegas?
We might need a little bit longer for one of those guys to commit to a veteran minimum.
Something like that. Yeah, I agree.
That's it. It's veteran minimum. Who's going to the thing with Christian Wood is I'm curious if Jason Kidd is in the ear of the Lakers on him, because Jason Kidd is not a big fan of Christian Wood. And
does he have his own issues right now?
Jason Kidd has always had his own issues, but the Lakers might, because they're friends with him, might feel like there might be something there if he's saying, "Look, stay away from this guy. He's gonna do something to your locker room." But we'll know soon enough, though.
I think JHS has to play a ton of minutes when they get to Vegas. I think there's no question about it, because he, of all the individuals there, needs to get the most work in, because right now it's still a rough look in progress.
I don't think there's anything he can do that's going to solve his issues here in a summer league tournament. He has major holes in areas that the league is about, which is shooting and getting to the basket, and he doesn't do well in either one of those. I didn't get a good answer from Rob Pelinka on why they selected
JHS.
Hood Schifino. I got this. He's a professional and he's got some kind of maturity. That's great. I understand that's, and of course this was more of a future pick, but I think you could have gotten him. I think you could have risked getting him later, maybe, or trade down. Get the best player available at 17. Even if that guy doesn't work out, at least you can go back and say, look, we got the best. We picked the best player at 17 at that point, whether he was an issue mentally, whether he didn't pan out because he wasn't who cares? It's a 17th pick. You're not picking top 5. Top 5, I get it. You get scared there if you don't pick the right guy. But 17, the Lakers should have just got Whitmore and hoped that Phil Handy, since Phil Handy is the mental fixer or whatever, I don't know since when, but it couldn't fix Russell Westbrook. I don't know how he could fix people, but I guess people think he can.
We'll
was
see
that,
what
Sean?
happens.
What
Go
was that,
ahead, Sean.
Handy offered suggestions to Russell Westbrook, and Russ looked at it as an insult.
Did you look
So
at him like this?
they never saw eye to eye. So that, I think that says more about one person than it does about the other. I think we saw it in the summer earlier. Frank Vogel really wanted Phil Handy on his staff. He really wanted him. And what did Phil Handy tell the Phoenix Suns? Sorry, I signed an extension with the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm not leaving them.
Do you guys think D'Lo will improve, King? That's tough. He's in the prime of his career right now. I said that not too long ago, and I'm going to stick by my word. This is a very important season for him on a personal level. We find out if he stays a NBA level starter or if he does, digress to a rotational player. I think this is what we're going to see this season, whether he stays with the Lakers or not. We're going to see exactly how far he is as a starting NBA point guard, or is he better coming off the bench? We're going to see if he digresses in his game or is able to go ahead and improve on it. But yeah, there's still some issues, especially his defense. Like we're already seeing with Hood Schifino, where he's getting beaten left and right. We saw this in the Denver series, how he was exploited on the defensive end with D'Angelo Russell. So that could be of concern that you're just drafting another D'Angelo Russell, but again, he still got to find a shot when it comes to JHS. With D'Angelo, it's just the fact is, where is he? Is he comfortable with who he is? Is this who he is? I have a feeling now that he's 28 years old, Joe, that D'Angelo at 28 is who he is.
D'Angelo needs to make shots. That's all he needs to do when it matters. Make the shot. Because if he's making the shot, he is going to open up that lane like Moses parted the Red Sea. When he doesn't make that shot, you're done. Because I don't care what you have behind D'Angelo, he's never going to be a good defensive player. It's just not going to happen. And you're not running that kind of defense anyways. And you're in an era where stout defenses are not really needed anymore. It's kind of like a running back in the NFL. As good as a running back as Saquon Barkley is, paying that guy $20 million a year is a waste. You need to have good quarterback play and good receivers and a good line. Running backs are obsolete at this point. They're just there just to keep things honest. Same thing with stout defenses in the NBA. There's only so much a stout defense will be able to do against rules at the way they are and how guys are shooting from deep and especially at the high clip that they're making those shots. Just doesn't matter, guys. It just doesn't. What you want now is you want D'Angelo to continue to do what he did as a team player, which is something that's very encouraging. He's been you didn't see him whine or cry when he was taken out in certain games. He was sitting there, he was clapping and supporting his team. That's a good sign. And remember, guys, he wasn't the only guy who struggled against Denver. I keep reminding you guys this. Everyone struggled against Denver. Even Jimmy Butler struggled against Denver. It wasn't just D'Angelo Russell. Okay? It was a combination and at the wrong time. And the fact that AD and LeBron ran out of gas, it didn't help. It just didn't help. However, if I'm sitting down with D'Angelo this summer, I'm going, okay, D'Angelo, what are you going to do that's going to be different next year? Are you going to make more shots? Are you going to make quicker decisions on pick and rolls? Are you going to get the ball to AD in a better spot when he posts up? Those are the things that are supposed to get improved when you have a training camp, when you have an off season, so you can practice with your teammates. Are they going to do that? I already saw Vando today. Okay, I saw him doing bands with JaVale McGee. He's trying to get better. He's trying to get more flexible. He's working on his game. Good for him. Let's see if everybody else is doing it. And it looks like LeBron is quiet under the radar. Probably had surgery last week. We don't know. Maybe he'll be 100% by training camp. We don't know. But as long as they handle their business, I don't care if they want to tell us or not. Just be ready. And D'Lo needs to it's going to be up to D'Lo on whether he's going to kind of take that next step here in the next year. And we can give him a little bit of a leeway, at least I can, because this was all fairly new, guys. The fact that they went as far as they went in a short amount of time that they had, that was a pretty encouraging sign. Let's see if they can do it now with a full season and a full training camp.
Lakers all day. You're right. He did attack the basket. JHS did continuously. He's able to go ahead and let me go ahead and describe. He's not able to get by the guy, which is of some concern because he's not able to drive beyond someone. But what he does good that I noticed is that he has his arm in places where the defense can't get a full reach on him and actually ends up either contesting and fouling or allowing him to still create open enough space for him to get these short shots off. So he's able to drive with consistency to the basket. He's just not able to drive by anyone, but he's able to play through contact, which again is admirable, but he's just not going to be able to speed by anyone or shoot over them the way he's shooting right now. So there's still a lot of work in progress. And you got to admit, Lakers all day, as much as I respect your opinion and glad that you're here, on the defensive end, it was not a pretty sight today, Sean. It was absolutely not a pretty sight. He was getting burned left and right, and it wasn't funny. And I don't say that in meanly because I want the kid to succeed because I'm a Lakers fan, true and true. But I got to call it like it is. It was very ugly.
And it's bad because look at the competition, guys. Some of these guys are not going to even have
NBA.
They're not ever going to be in the NBA, right? Or at least not on a regular roster. So if you're getting burned by non-NBA players, even the 12th guy on a roster is light years better than anybody that's not playing in the NBA. I mean, the separation between a non-NBA player, a G League player, a regular rostered player, a rotational player, a star, a mega star, and then the all-time greats, guys. The gaps are so huge. It's just you can't even explain it. It's so big. It's so big. And
Kobe's talked about this before. Kawhi Leonard's talked about this before. And Michael Jordan's talked about this before. You're talking about three of the most elite defenders of all time. They've all said the same thing. You, at a certain time, will get embarrassed in the NBA because everybody is just on another level. Like Joe was talking about, the levels. Are you good versus very good versus great versus elite versus legendary, right? There are levels. It's okay to be embarrassed and get embarrassed. But when it happens over and over again, Gerald, that's the issue. And that's what was happening with JHS tonight. It was over and over and over again. And it didn't matter whether Malachi Branham was on him, Wesley was on him.
Malachi Branham is an NBA player. So.
Yes. But let's be honest. I don't even know who
it's the kid Blake Wesley. Blake Wesley is the guy that was also burning him as well. That's the part that concerns me is seeing him. Julian Champagne and Malachi Branham is there. Those guys are NBA players. But when Blake Wesley, who is also a fringe NBA player, who may or may not stay in the league for many years, that's the one that kind of concerned me when I saw him driving by JHS. That's the one that really got me.
Guys who were fighting for minutes or beating you, and you were a first-round pick. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree, Gerald. So his defense needs a lot of work.
D'Lo is slow. Yeah, absolutely. Lakers all day. He is slow. What's the problem? It's just a question in the playoffs. Nothing's wrong. With D'Lo, Joe, during the regular season, he is who he is. And if he shoots like he did last year in Minnesota with 40% from behind the arc, that's obviously going to keep you in games during the regular season. It's what happens in the playoffs. Do you want D'Lo as your starting point guard or Gabe Vincent as your starting point guard going into the playoff portion of it?
And remember something too. This is important. So you're hoping that in the playoffs, LeBron and AD are relatively healthy, so you have those two guys. You need to put 3 other competent players. Probably all 3 have to be able to shoot around them. So, looking at things being equal, you're probably going to have Gabe Vincent out there, and you're probably going to have Austin Reeves out there. That means there's one other spot left. So it's not likely, even if D'Angelo Russell's on the roster, I still wouldn't play him with LeBron and AD if I have Gabe Vincent, Austin Reeves ahead of him. I'm not going to do that.
Zangerstein's favorite 3 guards, baby.
Well,
AR,
you know what?
D'Lo,
You
and
know
Vincent. You're
something,
gonna
Gerald?
see it. I know
Yeah,
you're gonna
we're
see
going to
it.
see it. Darvin Ham is not giving up that ghost. He's not going to give up that bone. He loves his 3-guard lineup. We're going to see a lot more of it.
And whether we like it or not, we're gonna see it. I can guarantee you that. That's an easy bet here in Vegas. Kurt says, and great to have you, Kurt. New viewer, new follower. Truly appreciate it. Make sure everyone out there, if you want to be along with us for the ride, go ahead and make sure you subscribe today to get the latest notifications when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break. We're almost at 900 subscribers, just a few short subscribers away, and we truly appreciate it. Kurt says, do you think the length and size we have now will make it difficult to defend some of the smaller, scrappier point guards, Joe?
Gabe Vincent will be the on the ball kind of ferocious type player. So the lineups are going to have to be they're going to be dictated on matchups. So if you need a little bit more aggressive guard play, Gabe Vincent's going to be your guy. If you have a little bit more finesse, you can use D'Angelo, especially if he's making a shot. And then as far as how this coming year can change, let's say for the better, we've talked about Austin Reeves. Where can he improve? He can go up a couple percentage points on his 3 and go up to, let's say, 41, 42%. His per game points average can go up maybe 3 or 4 points. That would be huge. Rui Hachimura will not be shooting 45% from 3, but if he can consistently shoot from, let's say, 40 at that position, that would be huge. We're going to have more chemistry now. There's going to be more non-thinking ability within the offense. You're going to have continuity. You're going to have that should these guys accept the team concept, which is always what's going to set you apart in the end. Is will these guys understand their role, be happy within their role, and produce in those roles? If they accept it, basketball is so much easier that way. It's so much easier to win. We hadn't had that. We hadn't had much of that even during the time they were winning after the trade deadline. There was still too many issues with, let's say, Rui didn't know really what his role was. He sat down due to a DNP. Finally had to kind of open up a little bit. Hey, guys, what am I doing wrong? Kind of sort of figured it out, but it was kind of too late still. D'Angelo got handled in the playoffs, couldn't adjust. Maybe now with a season under him with the Lakers, maybe now, hey, guys, if this happens, again, this is what you want to do. This is how we're going to switch it up. And then again, at the end of the day, guys, it's going to come down to LeBron and AD. It's always going to come down to LeBron and AD. Can they stay healthy and fresh at the end? The regular season is a prep. We're going to sit there. We're going to enjoy the games. But we also have to understand that this is going to have to be catered to greatly, especially LeBron. LeBron has to play a certain amount of minutes during the regular season. I don't care if it costs you from going from a 3 to a 5. If it means going from a 3 to a 5 because you had to hold back LeBron a little bit in these games, but it means that he's going to be able to get to the basket in the fourth quarter when you need to, do it. We already saw them go to the Western Conference Finals as a 7 seed. I think we're okay at the 5th seed or the 4th seed if it means, hey, we got LeBron fresh going into the playoffs, because this is likely going to be his last true, LeBron ability year. This is likely going to be it. And I'd really like to take advantage of it and hopefully put up the 18th banner up.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. Magic Man, before we head on out, this team overall with the new additions, although I do think there is going to be incrementally better three-point shooting, they're still going to be in the bottom half of the league most likely. But if this
See,
team,
that can't happen. That can't happen, Gerald.
but they're one of the worst
We
shooting
have
teams
to
during the
buck
course
that
of the
trend.
year.
If you want to preserve LeBron and AD, you have to
Well,
make those shots.
let me finish my statement. We
No, I'm
also don't.
finishing it.
Well, I'll continue it with the Lakers. With LeBron, you don't know which LeBron you're getting. Sean, we talked about this the other day. LeBron has fluctuated over the past
Forget about
decade.
LeBron and shooting.
No, but listen to my statement between a 30% three-point shooter and 36% three-point shooter, which is a huge difference on the volume that he takes. 2020, he shot 36. This past season, he shot closer to 30. If he gets closer to that 36, it can make a world of difference for the rest of the team on how they play, but also again, focusing on the defense and transition and getting to the free throw line, Magic Man. Those are imperative keys to this Lakers season.
100%, Gerald. We may have had offboarded a few guys and onboarded some more, but the formula is still the same. We need to win the points in the paint. We need to kill you in transition. And we need to win the rebounding battle. I mean, if we win the points in the paint and we basically win the transition game, we've shown that, yeah, the shooting comes and goes, but for the most part, when the Lakers stick to their recipe, they win most of the time.
I'll tell you what,
I would just say this as well, Gerald. I want to emphasize this as being very important. So when LeBron first came to the Lakers, they were a relatively inexperienced group. Now, the first season, LeBron hurt his groin, and we didn't reach the team success that we wanted. But he was able to observe who is scarred enough on this team where they're not shrinking in the playoffs. And the two guys that came to his mind were Kuzma and Caruso, because those were the two guys he went to battle with when he needed a victory. So we look forward to now, and we see that he's going to stick with Austin Reeves because Austin Reeves has been with the wars through with him. He knows what he can take. Gabe Vincent, a lot of people are kind of on the fence about Gabe Vincent, Gerald. Gabe Vincent has played in 40 playoff games over the past 2 years.
But he's also on a relatively inexpensive contract too, NBA speaking. So if he doesn't pan out, 3 years, 33, 11 million a year, that's not a whole lot.
No, it's not. But again, I'll go back. I think Rob's building a methodology here, and he's got a plan in mind. Gabe Vincent has playoff scars too, Gerald. It's just not with the Lakers. He's
the
lost.
Big risk is Rui, I think, of all the contracts. I think if that's the one that's really feast or famine for me.
Yeah. So you've basically assembled a team with LeBron that has depth, has versatility, and there is scar tissue built in this club from losing battles together. I can't emphasize that enough. In the NBA especially, when you look at teams that have been able to get over the hump and win a championship, it's not the Boston Celtics of 08 are the outlier. It's teams that have been together and lost together and have built up that scar tissue, and they break through and they have the metal, and that's eventually what builds up. So this team has the metal. It's just, will they be healthy enough at the end? That's the only thing that matters. Joe's right. If AD and LeBron are healthy at the end of the day, all this depth is going to take care of itself.
Before we end it out, it is the Lakers once again losing 109-99. Some great thoughts from Joe Soro and Magic Man Sean Grice. But before we end it out, some lighter things of note before we head on out, and the Lakers heading to Las Vegas. We'll be by tomorrow as well, later tomorrow night to talk about what's going on with the Lakers. Hopefully, a decision will be made by that time for the Lakers on who they're going to have as far as for the 14th spot in the roster. But Jeanie Buss was quoted recently on her 5 all-time Lakers, Joe and Magic Man. And before we head on out, wait to hear what she picked. Here goes. Of course, Kobe's number 1. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is 2. LeBron James is 3. Magic Johnson is 4. And Phil Jackson, of course, because she was engaged to him, was number 5, leaving Shaq out of the mix, which he obviously on social media responded to in only a Shaq-like way with memes galore. Your thoughts, Joe, on Jeanie Buss's comments on the Lakers' all-time top 5? If I'm in her position, it's probably a position I would not really want to get into and not. I just don't think I would comment on it per se.
She said the most important, or
who was it? Jeanie Buss's all-time 5 most
5.
important.
Her all-time
most
5.
important.
Yes.
How do you not have Shaq on there, who won 3 consecutive Finals MVPs? There's only one person that's ever done that. That's Michael Jordan.
You are not going to be in a winning situation, so I would have never commented on it.
If she had just, first of all, Magic Johnson is number 1. Magic Johnson made the NBA tape delay into live. Him and Larry Bird. Magic is 1. Kobe is 2. Kareem 3. Then you can go Shaq, Phil Jackson after that. LeBron, I mean.
What about Jerry West?
Jerry West should probably be number 1 also. I mean, come on.
You want him crying in his underwear like the HBO
reason why you
again?
have those guys there is because of Jerry West. Kobe, Shaq.
Like the 5 most important players in the history of her time with the Lakers is Jerry West, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant.
In most situations, it's going to be impossible. There's 2. The Lakers.
That's why she shouldn't have said anything, because it's a no-win situation.
The Lakers would be they could have their own Hall of Fame. That's how deep they are. We forget about Elgin Baylor. When we talk about who changed the game, Elgin Baylor was the first one. In terms of acrobatics, in terms of staying in the air and making shots, and you had a guard getting 20 rebounds a game. Elgin gets left out. George Mikan is the greatest player of his era. He gets left out, and he's a Laker his whole career.
Wilt Chamberlain gets left out.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Well, I'm just telling you, I understand as a Laker, he did.
Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain had a short stint. And that's why I think the LeBron thing shouldn't have been on there. Important.
Yeah. But she's trying to appease to LeBron.
That's stupid. That's stupid. Appease to Shaq. Shaq brought you 3 championships in a row, 3 Finals MVPs, and the greatest duo in NBA history. And who three-peats other than the Lakers and Michael Jordan, and then of course the old Celtics. So I don't know. She just needed to replace Shaq in.
With the LBJ.
Instead of LBJ. I'm sorry.
Jerry West.
It would have been fine. And honestly, LeBron wouldn't have even batted an eye at that. I'm sure he eye rolled it if he actually saw it. Like, I'm sure of it. Even do you remember what his top 3 was, Gerald, of all time? LeBron's top 3 players of all time. Do you remember who they were?
No. Go ahead.
Michael Jordan, Dr. J, Larry Bird. He didn't have Magic.
Or Kobe.
Yeah. So I think it's like, honestly, it goes to a bigger conversation, but I think way too many people are tied up in what is this person going to think if I say the wrong thing here, rather than following Gerald's wisdom and saying nothing. Silence is golden.
I just said they're all great, and it's so hard to choose.
Magic should be number 1, guys.
I'm not disagreeing with you with that,
Magic
Joe.
should
I'm
be
just
number
saying.
1.
I'm just saying. She should never put herself in the position to answer that.
Most important player of the NBA with Larry Bird is Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, the longer he's been out of retirement, the less people really realize how unreal he was. Okay? This guy is the greatest team sports player ever. Magic Johnson. You can't argue against it. The greatest talent is Michael Jordan, but the greatest team sport player is Magic Johnson. No one really understands who didn't watch him play. And I watched the tail end of his career growing up. I didn't even get a chance to see him between 80 and 87, where he was really good. Magic Johnson is the truth in so many ways. And if you don't have him somewhere high all the time, you just don't know basketball. I'm sorry, you just don't know basketball.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Great question.
Magic was one.
Have answered it.
Magic was one horrible pass from James Worthy from beating the Celtics 3 times, winning 6 championships in a decade, the most competitive decade in NBA history.
Absolutely. But
imagine what that would have done. That one bad pass changed so much because now Magic has 6 championships. He beats the Celtics all 3 times he faced them. And he likely wins MVP in 84. Now he's sitting on 4 finals MVPs. So much off that one pass. Think of it that way.
Well, we have our own Magic here, and he's got to get to sleep because it's running late for him on the East Coast. But it is Gerald Glassford along with Joe Soro, Simblades with a Y.com, and as Ox1947 at LakersBall.com. MagicMan, is always great to have him here, returning to us after an absence, and we're just so thankful and blessed to have him back. Again, it's just truly great to have everyone here. All these new faces, all these new people in the chat room. We truly appreciate it. Again, please like and subscribe. We're at $8.95 as we close out this show. Getting closer to 1,000. Looking forward to when we get over that milestone in YouTube. I guess the pantheon of YouTube channels. I guess the 1,000 mark is so important. So we're looking forward to that. But I'll tell you what, 87, 88, great years for the Lakers. Absolutely, Papa. I'm looking up at my Lakers 88 World Championship back-to-back. I always have a tendency to look up when somebody talks about 87, 88. Got it right there, hanging up, thinking about what I should still do with it. But I guess for right now, it's looking good right there. But it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate it. Again, I will try to be out there Saturday for Summer League, but we'll be back tomorrow to talk more NBA and Lakers hoops, see what happens in the NBA world, report on it. Guys, any last thoughts on our way out, Joe or MagicMan?
Vegas sucks.
Vegas does not suck. You do. Go ahead, Magic.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I haven't been, but I'm a big fan of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So.
Yep, absolutely. Or
Herpes
Joe
follows you everywhere you go.
I wouldn't know.
I must have. I wouldn't know either. But okay, Joe, if you say so.
You know better than I do.
No.
I don't. You know.
No,
you're the one that said the quote.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Joe's last thought was Vegas sucks. Whatever.
Mama
Vegas does not suck. It's a great community. And
Papa's wondering the same thing me and Gerald are, Joe.
Yeah, someone lost in Vegas recently, huh, Joe? Yep. Well, you know, this town was not based on winners. It was actually based on losers indeed.
You think so?
Well, that's why you lost, my friend.
You just confirmed my point.
It is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro.
Joe, don't say anything bad about my city, but we're a bunch of losers.
No, it's built on losers leaving town like you. Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro, my good friend. We are still friends. You know, it sounds like we bicker like old men, but you know what? We are good friends. He is my good friend indeed. Please go ahead and support him on Simblades with the Y.com, and of course, LakersBall.com. MagicMan, whenever he's here, give him the high sign and make sure that you go ahead and check him out anytime he's here. Looking forward to some more great news coming down the pike. Will the Lakers finally get their 14th roster spot filled? I'm hoping, because this drama keeps stretching itself out and the numbers are dwindling on the number of able bodies left at the center position that the Lakers can get. So we'll find out what's going on hopefully by tomorrow. And if that's the case, we'll be here to report it. We're here talking Lakers as they head into Vegas for Summer League. Sorry, Joe. But always a good time indeed. Go ahead. Yeah, I love LA too. I'm sorry. I love LA. I spent half my life there,
That's it. I
half my
didn't
life here.
show you L.A.
Well, you were trying to give me something hyperfinger. But
Don't you know the letter L and V?
yeah, I saw the LMV was
You
turned
didn't
around.
see.
Yeah, I know.
Shh.
Oh, shut up. But it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro, Joe Glassford, and MagicMan Sean Grice. Thanks so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. Like and subscribe today. But please always catch us here when you can, right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.